Dark clouds hung low over Rome, their shadows crawling like hungry beasts over the great city. In the heart of it all, a legend walked the earth, a warrior unmatched, feared, and whispered about in both awe and terror. His name? Leon the Black Gladiator, a warrior's wrath. Imagine the sound of thousands of voices roaring as one, a sea of people hungry for blood, for spectacle. This was Rome, where men fought like gods and died like animals. And in the midst of it, standing tall, was Leon. If you had ever seen him fight, you'd understand why he was called the Lion. His muscles rippled with every strike, his blade moved like it had a mind of its own, and his eyes, those dark, piercing eyes, held no fear. He had faced the deadliest warriors, the fiercest beasts, and he had never lost. But his greatest sin? Slaying the king's son in the arena. It hadn't been a fair fight. The boy had been thrown into the ring not as a warrior, but as a sacrifice. The king thought Leon would hesitate, that he would beg for mercy. He was wrong. With a single, brutal swing of his sword, Leon had carved his name into history, and into the king's blacklist. Now, a grudge festered in the palace, the kind that didn't fade with time, the kind that demanded blood, the hidden heir. What the world didn't know was that Leon had a secret, a daughter.
Her name was Electra, and she was no ordinary child. Leon had trained her in the shadows, away from the eyes of Rome. A girl, they would say, had no place in battle, but Leon had seen it, seen the way she moved, the way she fought. Unnatural strength, speed beyond reason. By the age of 6, she could disarm a man twice her size. By 10, she could crush a bone with her bare hands. Leon had never feared anything, until he looked into his daughter's eyes and realized she wasn't just strong, she was something more, something dangerous. And then came the dream, the prophecy of blood. That night, Leon tossed in his sleep, drenched in sweat. His breathing was heavy, his fists clenched as if he were still fighting in the arena. Then, she appeared, his mother, a woman long gone, yet standing before him as though she had never left. Her eyes, deep and knowing, bore into his soul. She is not meant for the arena, Leon. Her voice was calm, but her words struck like thunder. Electra's path is not yours. She will not fight men. She will fight beasts. Leon's chest tightened. What beasts? His mother only smiled, a knowing, eerie smile. You'll see. Then she was gone, and Leon woke up gasping, the weight of her words pressing down on his chest. The king's revenge. But Leon had no time to dwell on dreams, because, in the palace, the king was done waiting. He had tried to end Leon in the arena, but the man was like a ghost, unbeatable, untouchable. So, the king turned to the one thing even the strongest warrior couldn't fight: poison. It was subtle, slow, slipped into his food like a whisper of death. The first sip made his vision blur. The second made his knees buckle. By the third, he knew. Leon, the undefeated, the lion of the arena, was dying. He staggered to his wife, Cleo, his breath short and ragged. "Take her," he rasped. "Run." Cleo, her face pale with terror, clutched Electra close. "No, Leon, we can. Run." His voice was a command, the last one he would ever give. And then, Rome's greatest warrior fell. The hunt begins. Cleo didn't stop to mourn. There was no time. With Electra in her arms, she vanished into the night, her heart pounding as the king's soldiers flooded the streets, torches blazing like hellfire. But there was a problem, a big one. Electra wasn't like the other children of Rome. Her skin, deep brown like her father's, made her stand out. Everywhere they ran, eyes followed. Soldiers asked questions, and the king was closing in. But as they ran, something was happening to Electra, something she didn't understand. Her senses sharpened. She could hear the soldiers' whispers from streets away, smell the steel of their swords, the sweat on their skin. And when she closed her eyes, she felt something more, something powerful. It wasn't just strength. It was something unnatural, something awakening, the beginning of something greater. As Cleo and Electra disappeared into the shadows of Rome, the city's fate was shifting. Because this wasn't just a girl on the run. This was the bloodline of a lion. And the beasts she was meant to fight, they were waiting. To be continued. Let us know what you feel about Electra in the comment section. We would love to hear from you. Watch out for the next episode.